You're watching CHCO-TV's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the July 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting for the Municipal District of St. Stephen. I'm Florence Mitchell. In today's meeting, Councillor Heislip will provide an update on the world's oldest basketball court, and Mayor McEachern will provide a community safety update. Committee will review correspondence from downtown St. Stephen and the Charlotte County Activities Center. Finally, committee will review second drafts of the Customer Service Standards Policy, Municipal Complaints Policy, and Disposition and Acquisition of Municipal Land Policy. Now let's join committee in the Moosehead Room at the Garceland Civic Center in St. Stephen.
I don't think, yeah, there is something back there behind the curtain. All right, welcome to the Municipal District of St. Stephen Committee of the Whole meeting on Wednesday, July 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Call to order. Let's see, document we got Councillor Rodas is out this evening.
Here's some information.
And before we begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered today on the ancestral unceded territory of the Passamaquoddy peoples. And also I need a mover and seconder for the agenda for the Committee of the Whole meeting, July 10th, 2024. Councillor Eastman, Councillor Harding. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, thank you. Any conflicts of interest this evening? Seeing none, thank you. Mover and seconder for the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting held on June 12th, 2024. Be approved as presented. Councillor Greenlaw, Councillor Wright. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you. So we've got new business. I'll just have a mover and seconder to move into the new business list. Councillor Harding, Deputy Mayor Wheaton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, Conserve the Court, oldest basketball court update. You want any update from you to put you on the spot there?
No, you can put me on the spot. Well, it's pretty well self-explanatory because there's two reports there. One's I got the quarterly report after, and I said it would probably be a good thing to be put into the agenda as well, so you're keep you up to date and important dates coming up. And one of them is the golf tournament on the 16th to the 18th of August. That's the Archie tournament. But other than that, what you see on there is really what you get. And I don't know if Jeff has anything more to add to that. Jeff, put you on the spot. But
with respect to Canada's First, I did feedback as directed by council. Haven't heard back from Mr. Otto or Mr. Fulton on that draft agreement we were talking about. But otherwise, it's noted in these reports as well, the Mason finished up his work, and we're just waiting for the insurance company's contractor to come do the roof. We're hoping that's right around the corner, but roofing contractors are busy folks, and it's hard to get onto their schedule. So, yeah, other than that, we've had some conversations about the Conserve the Court money and how that'll be handled moving forward, but we need to take care of these outstanding capital projects before we start looking at transferring those funds off to another agency to manage on behalf of Canada First. But that's I think that's it for me for this reporting period.
You're all good now, Dave? Yes. Thank you. Okay, next up, community safety update, provided by myself, actually. So have you all seen the emails, correspondence from us and our MLA Kathy Bacchus, Minister Bacchus? Regarding there was an offer of support back when the downtown was requesting needle boxes, and we went after that support, and right at the time there is no funding available at this time, and pretty much if something does come up that's available, they'll let us know, and we'll keep an eye on things too. I don't know what more we can do with that at this point. Councillor Greenlaw?
Just an update, the BIA is still working on trying to find funding for those?
Through a different avenue.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not dead yet.
Oh, no, I never said it was dead, but
Okay.
it is kind of dead there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Anything else to add?
Just on our daily sweeps through from the border down to the end of the trail area, we've found, and throughout town, a total of 4 needles, 2 in town, downtown area, and 2 outside of the downtown core, and just 1 other piece of paraphernalia. So that's since April. So they're continuing the sweeps, and yeah, not huge amounts right now. So.
Thanks for the data. That's always good to have. And probably, are we recording that so we can look back at it? Yeah. Perfect. All right. Nothing further on community safety at this time. Correspondence from downtown St. Stephen. Okay, oh yes, all right. I'll let Jeff maybe explain what this is, the name change.
Sure. It came up during one of my chats with the folks over at the BIA, and about what the official name is for the nice new concrete pad where we have the vendors market and whatnot now. As the letter indicates, colloquially we've used different terms to refer to the area over the years, whether it's town square or the town plaza, but we were looking through stuff, and there's not really an official name for the place, for the area. As they reference in their letter, during an old report, their consultant had referenced it as Station Square, given its proximity to the old train station, which is, not a horrible name, for sure. So they're putting a proposal forward that the council consider doing an official naming for the area as Station Square. We wouldn't be able to do that at this table. We'd have to go to council, but this is an opportunity to explore that name, or if you wanted to get into, like we've done with other things, whether we want to put out to a public contest, public commentary for options and things like that, we could go down that road as well, to get us an official title for that plaza, square, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of where it came from. Is I said, well, if you want to put something forward, put it on paper, and we'll bring it to the elected officials.
Any comments from council? Councilor Greenlaw?
No, we had talked about that today at the meeting, and I think Michelle noted that a lot of the stuff we have is already branded as a certain name and stuff like that. So, I mean, to change it now, you'd have to get more, you'd have to buy more materials and stuff like that that are branded. So we should, go through the process of what we want to do with this, but then look at probably doing it officially at a later date so that we don't strand all that asset. But I support the change. I like the change better than the plaza. Yeah. Thank you.
Councilor Heislop?
My questions were, what's the ramifications and the associated costs with changing that? And I think Councilor Greenlaw brought it up a little bit, but what actually do we have that's actually branded in that name? I mean, I've seen the signs like the downtown market or something, the vendors and I don't know what it says on that, the plaza or the, yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a brief conversation about it this morning, Kev and I, and that's kind of the one thing that we have printed, I think, at this time, is the vendors market community signs, which is, obviously there was an investment in those, but it's not overly substantial either, if a name change came. But yeah, we don't have a lot of things branded at this point in time that would really be a significant cost implication.
Okay. Well, we just brought it up tonight, so let's see how the community, accepts what we talked about. Maybe we'll get some feedback from them as well, because see how that rings off on their tongue, and can people switch over to changing something? Sometimes the old names never go away. But who was it over here? Yeah, Councilor. Okay. Councilor Ray.
I was just going to say, I like the idea of a contest, naming contest, kind of like they did for the dog park, I believe. But another option is just to come up with a few names and put out a quick Survey Monkey. Might speed it up a little faster too. But I'll probably still have Coe's Plaza, because it's just a word for what it is. But not against it.
I'm the same way. So let's just maybe see what the public takes from tonight and go from there. Any other comments?
So just a point of clarification for us, Your Worship. So is the desire of committee that we do initiate a formal public consultation, whether that's a contest or a short listing of some names that we come up with and putting it out for survey, or like or are you just waiting, or would you rather be more passive with it and just wait to see if anybody comes to you? Am I reaching out, or are we waiting to get reached to? I guess that's my question. Yeah, but if you're looking for a broader community consult, that's all I'm asking is, do you want us to push something out to the public for a commentary, or do you want us to just sit and wait and see if anybody comes back with anything over the next couple of weeks?
I would just like everyone to be happy. All right, Councillor Greenlaw, including the BIA.
Well, just nobody seems to have any real definite understanding of how the other names all got in there, whether they were approved officially or not. So, I mean, I'd like to see something move forward from this, and at least, you know, put it up to the public to somehow to say we're looking at changing the name, and here's what the BIA suggests. You know, I don't know as though a contest, but at least we should get public feedback before we just go ahead and change the name of the center of activity in the town. It's an important spot.
I'm with you on that way. Like I said, I'd like to, you know, I support the BIA, what they come up with, but let's just put it out there, and however you gotta do it. Don't put weeks into it. All right. Next up is a letter from the Charlotte County Activity Center. Is any discussion on that from council? That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh. You need to wave a lot louder. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Well, first of all, it's probably not up to us to find another place for these people to go. And I think it was the one up on the boulevard, I'm not sure, that moved out last week. Yeah. I did hear that they did good work. I don't know what type of work they did, but people went in there, maybe helped them with their resumes and things like that. So, but I don't think it's up to us to find a place. I think it's up to these people. Thank you.
Any more, Councilor Greenlaw?
Yeah, I just think what they're looking for is I think they want to maintain the centralization of the activity center. So I think they're looking to see if the town has any surplus properties or anything that we could possibly, you know, use to help them keep the activity center in the hub so that it's used more. If it gets moved out, then it won't get used as much. So I think that's what they're really looking for is you know, do we have anything and can we help them, even through maybe planning, find a spot. And it is, you know, as far as, it's not really our forte, but they're reaching out and asking for help.
Councilor Heislop.
Would that be something that future St. Stephen can help them with? Because they usually keep a line on all the vacant properties and who's going in and who's going out, and I think they'd be more apt to help that individual group out. I mean, I know of a few individual properties that have their signs in the window saying they're space for rent, so, and they do pay rent, so I mean, it's not like that they're a tenant that's not providing some kind of support or anything to the owner. So I think future St. Stephen usually has those properties, or they used to have all the list of all the properties that were vacant, so I think that'd be the place to start, I would think, unless the CAO has something that you could suggest.
Do you have anything to add to that, Jeff? Or
I mean, we have our of course our list of our properties owned by the MDSS. Nothing that would be befitting of the request that's in front of us today. But I think you're absolutely correct. The Future St. Stephen historically has had their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the private market, and they may have better insight than we would have. But I was just taking another glance at a map that the RSC did for us of all of our properties, and there's just nothing that would really fit this request that we currently have possession of.
Okay, yeah, okay, go ahead.
So could we send something back to them in a response like that? Just saying that we checked the maps and there's nothing that we have available, but to check with Future St. Stephen and give them a number to contact?
It's already happened in my head. But, I'm sorry, yeah, I think we could do that. Or I'm sure we could do that. Okay, all right. Second draft, customer service standards policy. Any questions or concerns, council? Okay, sounds good. Second draft municipal complaints policy. Questions or concerns from council on that?
Just on that one, Your Worship, I'll take the opportunity to give you a quick update, because this policy does reference using our U11 system, which is now operational. Since we put out a social media blast on Monday, trying to redirect folks, we have gotten a number of people, some sitting in this room, but some members of the general public as well, sending us some concerns and some issues that they've seen across town. It seems to be working quite well. The system does give us an opportunity to respond directly to the citizen, but also allows us to track internally who's taking a look at things, where it is in its progress as far as to completion. So it seems to be working quite well, and hoping that we can, cut down on phone calls that get missed and emails that get lost in the 300 emails that come in a day, by having folks put it directly into the work order system and getting fairly quick responses as those things come in. So just a little plug for that program.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's people in this room that did it, and I'm one of them. I did an undercover one there to see how it worked, and I'm actually quite impressed. I literally got an email response immediately. I also looked out the window of my office, and I saw the red truck there within the hour, already looking at the situation, and then off they went. So it worked very good. So very impressive.
Did you use your name, though?
No, I don't.
Is that why they came so quickly? Oh, okay.
Billy Bob. Sorry, Billy Bob out there. Yeah, no, worked quite well. Yeah, put my name in. Yeah, it's already fixed now, too. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that. I think that's a good addition to their municipality. Next up, second draft for disposition of acquisition of municipal land policy. Any questions or concerns of council on that? Councilor Eastman?
Yeah, I just got one question. Is all of our surplus land, is it all zone residential except for of course, the industrial park?
Not necessarily. I'd say probably the good majority of it would be. But without having the full list in front of me, there are some things that could be, whether institutional or whatever, under old zoning bylaws and things like that. Yep.
That's good. Yep. Councilor Wright.
Thank you. On page 5 of 14, it said finalize and close land transactions that are not less than fair market value by more than 10%. I didn't see in there, maybe I just missed it, how is fair market value going to be determined, I guess? 4.1.3.
I think so. B, because I had the same question.
Yeah, 4.1.3, page 5 of 14 of the PDF.
nothing in there that says how market value is determined.
Okay, no, that's a good catch. We'll take a look at that and write in some language to clarify that.
Say something about an assessment being done, so I didn't know if that was going to be part of that, just so that would be defined. That's all.
And, oh, sorry, my mic. Yeah, and I think there may be a need for us, and a little bit more time to think, that it may be set different ways depending on different properties. Because in some situations, we may determine that the assessed value is representative. In other cases, it may not be based on sales in the area or whatnot. So it may be part of the administrative review of an individual property, and part of that conversation we have before it's declared surplus is determining that might be part of the decision is how we're going to determine fair market value. So we can work it right into the process, but I'll take that away and draft up some wording and before we bring it back.
So one just on.
Oh, sorry, I just hit the button on you. Go ahead, Counselor. I was just,
Is page, well, I don't have the page on the, I got the hard page here in front of me. It's section 4.1.3 though, and it's F, BF, and it says sale proceeds, all sale proceeds from the sale of surplus land should be deposited into municipal reserves, but that's not defined, like what reserves, operational, capital, so we should.
Yeah, so on that one, in a previous draft, it referenced an affordable housing fund, which we don't currently have. So to make it more generic and give more flexibility with it, we wanted it going into reserves as a safe placeholder. As you'll probably recall, when we put running in reserves, council puts a note on it and can choose whichever reserve that would go to. But what I was trying to make sure we protected against was it getting lost in general revenue. So if we have a mandate that it has to go into a reserve, then when the motion to transfer money into reserves comes, we'll have a recommendation saying we'd like to put it in general capital with a notation for future land development or something like that. And until we get a little more sophisticated in how our reserves operate. But for the time being, that was the rationale behind making it a little bit more generic to give more flexibility at the moment of decision.
And on Schedule A, it was just, it says, that it'll be advertised in the local paper. So what does that mean? Does that mean if the Courier's back and we can advertise, does that mean St. John paper or?
I'll take that as a takeaway. Let me take a look at that one. There may be a legal language requirement on that one, so let me just double check that one. We'll back with an answer on that one.
Small one. I'll send that in an email. Thank you.
thank you. Okay. Municipal land, and I need a mover and seconder to move into close as per section 68 bracket 1, the Local Governments Act. Council move into a closed session for the purpose of discussing and negotiating of an agreement and a financial matter. Councilor Wright, and I'll give Councilor Cornish that. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried to move into closed.